You've got a diagnosis of high cholesterol. Oh dear. We're accustomed to viewing high levels of LDL as a heart attack waiting to happen. This viewpoint leads to low cholesterol diets and statin prescriptions. While extremely high levels of LDL particles are definitely not a sign of good health, the real red flag is the combination of high LDL particles and low HDL particles. You see, the LDL particles are being deliberately dispatched by the liver to provide cells with the cholesterol they need to function. Surprise, surprise! Cholesterol is a critical nutrient. It does all sorts of things like shoring up membranes, insulating nerve cells. It serves as a building block for steroid hormones. It's killing off nasties in the gut and facilitating the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. It's needed. When LDL levels are high, it's because cells need more. Why they need more? Typically, they're in some kind of trouble. I like to think of LDL particles as the Red Cross, delivering supplies and band-aids. Interfering with these helpful supplies is misguided. Unfortunately, when the cholesterol enters the war zone, it too can get damaged. Oxidative stress is brutal. So is glycation. Our hero gets hurt. One thing leads to another, and the next thing you know, the intima, the layer that lines the arteries, is jammed up with foam cells that are overloaded with cholesterol. The overflow blocks blood flow. Bad body chemistry creates the mess. It's unfortunate, but not a disaster. The liver dispatches HDL particles to bring the superfluous cholesterol back to base, so it can be appropriately disposed of. HDL particles can vacuum up the excess cholesterol through a process known as reverse cholesterol transport. A key player in this process is a transporter protein known as the ABCA1 transporter. It's all very civilized, except when the body suffers an HDL shortage. When this happens, the cholesterol overflow is not removed timeously. The minor mess accumulates, becoming a disaster. In light of this, maybe it's time to focus on increasing HDL, not lowering LDL. Join us for this episode of Better Body Chemistry TV as we explore how you can get a more efficient cleanup crew. Better Body Chemistry TV is brought to you by Dr. Sandy, a scientist turned gremlin buster, helping you battle sugar gremlins, heifer lumps, and other health horribles through better body chemistry. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health. So, what can you do to beef up your HDL levels? Regrettably, you cannot just swallow a pill. Despite a valiant effort from Big Pharma, there still is not a drug on the market that does this well. But that doesn't mean you don't have options. You do. One of the options is to move more. This is what a group of researchers from Urmia University recently confirmed in a group of couch potatoes. The researchers rounded up 36 women who were all overweight and sedentary. The ladies were divided into two groups. Group 1 continued life as usual, sitting on the couch. Group 2 enrolled in a 12-week exercise program, which required pushing and pulling for approximately 1 hour at 65 to 75% of their maximum heart rate 3 times a week. At the start of the study, and then at the end of the training program, they measured all the usual biomarkers: BMI, weight, fat mass, total cholesterol, LDL, HDL, triglycerides, and fasting glucose levels. They also assessed the functioning of the cholesterol cleanup crew in the blood cells by quantifying the messenger RNA levels of the ABCA1 transporter and the ApoA1 protein. The training program improved overall body chemistry. Sitting pretty? Didn't. The exercising ladies managed to lose a little weight, dropping from 83.6 kilos to 79.4. The weight they lost was fat. Woohoo! And their other numbers were also better, including their HDL levels, which increased, proving moving more does create better body chemistry, which is something we all already knew. Of course, knowing and doing are not always the same thing. But this was not the point of this study. The point of this study was to observe what happened to the cholesterol cleanup crew. The team found both the levels of the ABCA1 and ApoA1 in the blood increased significantly in the exercising ladies, suggesting the improvements in the cholesterol numbers were due to a better trained cleanup crew. The Inform ABCA1 transporter is able to move phospholipids out of the cell membranes and package them into lipid-poor ApoA1 containing lipoprotein particles, which is a good thing. So, get up off the couch and move. It will create better body chemistry. If you're too lazy to move, you can improve your HDL levels by eating more eggs. Interested in discovering more ways to create better body chemistry so you optimize your health and the health of your family? Visit our website at www.betterbodychemistry.com. Browse our library or enroll in one of our courses or programs. The advice is simple to follow and based on real science, not hype. Know someone who is struggling with high cholesterol? Share this video with them. Maybe by watching the video, you'll help them get moving. Exercise is not just for weight loss. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you catch future episodes of Better Body Chemistry TV. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health.